Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rub-a-Duck Thursday. I'm Kadesha, your lovely host for the day. And as you know, this is just a very chill stream. We just relax, we vibe code, we learn together I answer your questions, you answer my questions, you teach me about gaming and how to play games. Um, and we just vibe together. Today, I have a very special guest joining who will be building with us. And I am really looking forward to chit chatting with her for the next like hour or so. So let's get right into it. Yes, hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. How are you doing? How are you doing? Honestly, it's been a pretty crazy week, but we're here to zone out for an hour and just like, have a good time. Hi, hello. Hi, hello to you too. Hi, hello to you too. So as usual, we're going to start by just popping into the GitHub ships this week. I really don't know what has shipped this week. It's been an intense week. We're full steam ahead preparing for Universe. So I'm going to pull up the change log to see what we've been up to, right? Hey, Morgana, welcome. Welcome. I love seeing all the familiar names. Hello, Trent. Hello, Oscar. Hello, Emmanuel. Thanks for joining, but let's get right into it. Because as you know, time moves fast when we're having fun. So let me share this window here and let's explore the GitHub changelog. But first, let me just pop this screen over there so I can still see. Let me make this full screen. Let me pop this up here. There we go. Awesome. So let's see what we've been up to at GitHub this week. So I like to take a look at the blogs. And as usual, I get distracted by this very awesome duck song, so I'm going to change it. So I always like to take a look at the blogs to see what the team has been up to. So let's see. 20 years of Git, 2 days at GitHub HQ, Git Merge 2025. Whoa, what an awesome title. So it looks like my colleague Lee hosted Git Merge 2025 at GitHub HQ recently, and he wrote about it. If you don't know about Git Merge 2025, it's just a conference about Git, all things Git, where people come together, and sometimes like some of the top maintainers come together to have a really great conversation and nerd out about everything Git. So that happened. What else do we have? Completing urgent fixes anywhere with GitHub Copilot Coding Agent and mobile. Okay, cool. Thank you, Scott. Let's see what other blog posts we have. Let me see if I can find a really good one that I can recommend to you. How GitHub enabled accessibility governance. Spec-driven development. I think I shared this one before, but check out this. So spec-driven development, there is a new toolkit that we shipped called SpecKit. And essentially with SpecKit, you're able to use it to build better with AI technology. So, the vibe coding that we do on here, SpecKit makes it a little better because you're able to plan out everything properly with SpecKit. And I actually think I need to do a stream on this because I'm not selling it properly. I'm not doing a very good job there. But let's see what we've released. So Python 3.14 was released this week. That's pretty cool, John. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Okay, so there's an upcoming deprecation of Claude Sonnet 3.5. Oh no, I love 3.5. This is the thing. I get so attached to the tools and the models, and then they're gone. Okay, so Claude Sonnet 3.5 will be deprecated from GitHub Copilot Experiences. So that's going to happen soon. It looks like it's going to be on November 6th, 2025. So, maybe we should have, a little celebration for Claude Sonnet 3.5. It's been real. It's one of my favorite models, actually, 3.5, even though I have access to the latest Claude models. That's been my favorite one. GitHub now supports social login with Apple. Whoa, that's interesting. You can create a new GitHub account using your Apple or Google credentials in just a few clicks. Link your trusted social login email with your existing GitHub account. That's interesting. Log in with your social accounts. Secret Protection expands their upcoming changes to GitHub Dependabot. Do we have any releases? Okay, we have a new model available in some editors. Claude Sonnet 4.5, of course. Okay, so it looks like we've been up to a few ships this week. Nothing too jarring, nothing too crazy. One of the biggest ships we've had recently was the Copilot CLI, which we used together, we played with it together, and I hope you've been taking a look at it. But before I keep gabbing, because I can talk, I'm going to invite Bree up on stage so we can get the party going. So if you're just joining, usually Rubber Duck Thursday, it's just me and you vibing, chilling. But today I wanted to have a friend up on here with me to build together, to hack together, to talk together. So say hello to Bree.
Hello, everyone. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is Bree Hall. She is a senior developer advocate at Atlassian. Very recent development, right? Bree, tell us about yourself.
Yes, I, as you said, am a senior developer advocate at Atlassian. I really enjoy web development, making the web a little bit of a cuter place every now and again, leaving it a little bit better than how I found it. So I love just all things code, all things cute, and I really love content creation as well.
Yay, and we love it. The world deserves more cuteness. We need more cuteness in our life. Yes, yes. So, welcome to the show. I promise it's a very chill stream. So, do not fear, do not fear. We're a kind bunch, right, folks? Say hello to Bree, say welcome, say we're a kind bunch, and just warm her heart. So, yeah, what are we doing today, Bree?
Okay, so I told you I love content creation. One of the things that I love to do as an engineer, my toxic trait is if I have any problem, I feel like I can build something to solve it. I think that we all have a little bit of that, at least every now and again. And I have this journal of services that I enjoy, but maybe don't always want to pay for because sometimes they can get to be pretty pricey, like $30 a month for a specific subscription to do one thing. And I'm like, but what if I could just build it all in one place? Exactly. So one of those things I struggle with, going, and we've talked about this before, like getting out of your head, having an idea and just executing on it.
Girl.
But one of those things is having ideas and taking a really broad idea to something that's really kind of niche. So today, what we're going to be doing is building Tinder, but for content creation ideas.
Whoa.
In theory.
Whoa. Well, let's get into it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pop your screen on stage and do let us know if you can see the screen that's being shared. Can you zoom in a little?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
So are you someone that builds your ideas and leave it in the editor, or do you build and then ship?
I am trying to get to build and ship. The part that usually stops me is after so many years of production enterprise level engineering, I just put so many guardrails around my brain of what it has to look like or what it has to be before I ship it. And then I'm like, but I'm only one person. I'm not a whole team. So then it just stays on my local machine. But I would love to see this be something that people just play with, because it's not supposed to get you all of the way or build your content for you, but it's just mostly supposed to be to help you generate ideas or spark little ideas. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And also to help you just choose something, right? So sometimes I get so stuck. What to do? So let's get into it. What do we have here?
Perfect. The first thing I have, because I did not set anything up just yet, I wanted to do that all together. I am using VS Code and Copilot. And basically the first thing I always do whenever I'm setting up any project now, especially when I'm going to be doing a little bit of vibe coding, is I am a proponent of having a features file. So I basically use Gemini to talk about what the requirements were for the project, narrow the scope down a lot because naturally you have a ton of ideas. And then I worked back and forth forth with it to generate this like features prompt. So basically this is just a single file, and I know it is really big, especially because the text in it is like a little bit bigger. It's broken down into phases. So for the first phase, I want to focus on like setting up my project, defining the UI itself. I'm going to be using like Next.js to go ahead and do this, and OpenAI's API. And then I want to get into like some of the form and the UI. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this off, and then I'll start it, because if I don't, then I will not get anywhere. And then we'll just be sitting here looking at the requirements. So
Yeah, I like to do that too sometimes.
I know I'll just be sitting here yapping. And
Okay,
yes,
so
I
saw.
do say hi to my editor as well, because it's only polite.
Hello. So someone asked, what are we doing today? So what are we doing today?
We are hopefully getting through at least the first couple of phases of, I think I called this Content Spark, but we're going to call it Tinder for content ideas.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, someone said, why did you choose Gemini for the ideation phase?
Oh,
Great question.
because it is. I have really been like figuring out what models I really like for what recently. Gemini has been really good for giving me like more verbose and thoughtful answers whenever I want to expand like a small idea. I was previously using like ChatGPT and like the OpenAI models, but sometimes, and I love it when ChatGPT agrees with me and thinks that all of my ideas are good. I think Gemini is better at saying, okay, yeah, your idea is great, but did you think about this? Or, hey, you actually can't do this with that technology. Like, it's a great idea, but like you can't do that. So we're going to have to figure something out. So that's why I've switched over to using Gemini more for like, is this possible? I have this idea, and like help me break it down a lot more.
Love that. Love that. I see Trent is saying like Gemini is awesome. I just recently started using Gemini more. And the thing I'm using it for is for video analysis, because it can understand video inputs. And oh my goodness, it's really good. I like the way it speaks. I like the cadence. I like how intelligent the model is. Like it speaks like an actual intellectual. So I definitely agree with you. Like, it's like really good for the ideation phase and getting that type of feedback.
Yeah, I also love it for analyzing video content too. But typically what I do is I export my analytics, and then sometimes I will have a script that I already have generated from like CapCut. And then I'll say, hey, here are the analytics and here's the script. Tell me exactly where I need to do better. Or it'll say like, hey, script was not good, or like maybe your hook wasn't good enough and like you lost people immediately, or maybe you were talking too much like I am now.
No, you're not talking too much. Okay, so what's going on the screen now? I'm gonna try to leave you to build.
Yeah, so I am just asking it to help me set up my project, which looks like it is setting up the Next.js project for me. And I'm basically just allowing it to do all of the things that it needs to do. I've been using Next a lot more recently. I've previously used like Astro a lot, and I really, really like it. But I ended up using Next just because it had a couple of more features in my last role, and it's just what I have been using recently.
Yeah, nice.
But I really love Astro. Astro is usually what I use
for
Astro. Personal projects and stuff.
Yeah, it's so easy to just get spinning with Astro.
Yes. And I love that you don't have to use like React. It's agnostic of any like frameworks and things like that if you really don't want to use them.
Because honestly, sometimes React is just too heavy. Like, I don't need all that utility. I just want to do something very simple.
Exactly. That's what my personal site is on. And I only use React in a couple of components. That's also why I like it. You can kind of like mix and mingle, or like mix and match what you're using it for. Or if you wanted to have like Vue or another technology, you could also do that with your components as well.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's see what we have.
Okay. So I think it's just setting up my dependencies, everything like that. I'm going to be using Tailwind as well, just because it's my go-to these days. And hopefully in a couple of seconds, it will have everything that I need. I am not used to looking at the screen so big. It is. My screen itself is already big. And then it's like, this is what I imagine my dad looks at when he is looking at screen, because he has a whole TV for his computer screen.
Mm,
So
hilarious.
imagine that he looks at.
Hilarious.
Perfect. And it's building our project structure for us.
Do you find that sometimes setting up Tailwind is a bit difficult?
Yes. And I think it became a lot more difficult once Tailwind v4 came out, because Tailwind v4 basically allows us to not have to use JavaScript so much, and we can just really use like native CSS and like CSS files to set up and extend Tailwind. But a lot of the models were trained on the older way of doing it, which is the JavaScript like Tailwind config JS or like TypeScript way of doing it. So whenever you're like, hey, I just want to do it with with CSS, it's like, I don't know how to do that. Okay, how far are we getting? Let's see. I do know that phase 1 was kind of big. I did maybe put a couple too many things in there, but I think we'll see in a second. Tailwind is usually one of those things for sure that kind of like stops me, and then I definitely have to go back through and check it myself.
Like I have to do like manual work.
Exactly. Like, I'm telling you to do it. Don't come back and tell me to do more work. Anywho.
See that you're using the auto mode. That is interesting. I don't even know if you noticed that you were using auto mode. Was that intentional?
It was a little. I've been playing around a little bit with using the auto mode for just like regular setup, and then going to the models that I prefer for like different features. I ended up doing this for a talk that I was working on previously, where I realized that some of the models, especially for things like CSS, struggle a little bit more. So for project setup, I just want something that's general, nothing that's too crazy in one area or another. But I typically use Claude Sonnet. And yes, I'm going to be at the 3.5 deprecation party. Absolutely.
I know.
I will definitely be there. But yeah, I think I'll switch it over to a different model when I start the next feature. So
nice. I love that.
If we have something going on. Okay. Success. Just like we said, CSS. Okay. So we're trying to import Tailwind directly. And I won't even, this is exactly what I do when things happen.
Nice. And I tend to do it lazily. I just snap a picture, upload it, and send.
Why does it keep asking me if I want to enable? Oh, because I'm on auto. That's why. Okay, I'll go ahead and switch it then. I don't have to do it. Let's see. So it is going to.
And you know, sometimes like I like using AI tools to, you know, do the project, like the initial install. But sometimes I'll just do it old school, npm install because I find it just to be faster.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to.
I find it to be faster, and also like, you know, I can save my tokens for the actual building because
that's what it was too. I use Cursor a lot as well. And after I think like 4 days of constant building, which isn't something I usually end up doing now as a developer advocate, I was working on like a personal project, and I was like, what do you mean I've burnt through almost 90% of my tokens in 4 days?
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to buy new tokens. I was like, okay, I got to be more strategic.
I know. Tokens. It's going to be the bane of our bank accounts.
Yes. That's one of those girl math things where I'm like, tokens don't exist. Money doesn't exist. Money doesn't exist, but you know, it's okay. Okay, it says that it's fixing everything for me.
Yeah.
It has added our Google fonts, which I'm going to assume
nice.
See something now. Okay, perfect.
Ooh.
We have a page. We love it.
A page.
Okay, somebody asked in the chat, Tailwind or native CSS, and I think it's an excellent question. I personally say when you are working with AI tools that Tailwind is the better way to go than with native CSS, because I've seen AI really struggle with some really basic CSS. And AI
Really?
tools are also not great at creative coding yet either. So like you might ask for an SVG, and in
Hmm.
theory, it's like, oh, you can do this SVG for me. Like I'm going to go ahead and upload a picture, and then I look at it and I'm like, are we looking at the same thing? And the answer is probably no. But
Are we looking at the same thing?
we never are.
That's interesting. So like I don't do a lot of CSS work, so I don't have those insights, but that's interesting to know that in your experience it's not very good at like native CSS. That's very interesting.
No, it creates a lot of spaghetti native CSS, and I run into a lot
Ooh.
of issues with specificity because a lot of times
Mm.
it makes everything as general as possible versus creating like the right classes or the right IDs and kind of like nesting things appropriately. Now that you can nest in native CSS, I feel like it also doesn't do that as well either because it's used to mostly doing that with Sass and not native CSS because that's one of the newer CSS features.
Gotcha.
So it looks like it finally got over it and it's installing Tailwind Merge finally. And Tailwind Merge is really useful for, I would say more so if you are building like a component library or like something that's a little bit more verbose and you want to be able to like toggle or compile different classes. You ran into an issue for a while.
Just hit continue.
Yeah. Let me switch this up. Let's use 3.5 for one last time.
While we can.
What do you mean? It's not.
Oh no. Do try again. Wow.
How sad. I thought it wasn't yet, but that's okay. Let's move to, I don't really like 3.7. Let's do 4.
Honestly, I don't. I find 3.7 does too much. Same.
Okay.
I feel like
now we're at
3.7 should be the one to be deprecated, you know?
Right? I don't think there's anything wrong with 3.5. But as I've been like looking, I feel like I'm going to pat myself in the back. I've been doing more with AI and like trying to be more literate about all those things. And I was looking at model cards recently and like trying to understand like what they are and what they do and going through and reading some of them. And I'm like, maybe some of these should give a simple, you definitely should use this for these tasks, or you should for these tasks, just because I feel like more transparency in some of the models would be great. But I think in theory, you could use them for a wide variety. So it would be hard to say you can definitely use certain models for certain tasks and whatnot.
Agreed.
Okay, we have stopped. It looked like everything went through. I wasn't reading all of that, but it looks like we have our Tailwind configuration, our font setup, our base theme configuration, or base button rather. So let's see.
Ooh, Rutsa, this is a good point. So they were saying this isn't even the V4 way, is it? Shouldn't it be at import Tailwind CSS?
It is not using the V4 way. And I knew that when I did it from Gemini, but because we were on a short time limit and I hate having to go through, I was like, you know what? Let's just do it the previous way.
The V4 way. Not someone spot it.
I know. Okay.
Oh, so can you zoom in on the browser?
Yeah.
What do we have here?
We have something that's not working. The reason I know it's not working is because these buttons are supposed to be in different colors, and it appears that they are not in different colors, or at least I'm going to. So let's see. Do they have classes on them? They do. They look like they have Tailwind classes. Where? Oh, there, it's all the way over here. I don't like that. How do I move that down? Oh, we'll go with it for now. So, okay, so it says that this has text black, but I don't even see that in the list. Okay, so that means that something is wrong with our Tailwind configuration, and I thought I was going to get around it. But I didn't.
Try hitting keep.
Hitting what?
Clicking keep just so it keeps the code changes. What if you...
I might have to restart the server.
I was going to say, what if you restart the server?
Let's see.
Sometimes plugging it out and plugging it back in honestly works sometimes.
Always does it. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's
and
okay.
then like, yeah, clearing cache, or I don't know, sometimes it, but if not, that's okay. Yeah.
That's okay. It's because I said I was going to get around the tailwind issues, and
Oh
it
no.
said, no, you're not. No,
No,
you
you're
are
not.
definitely not. Okay. So, and it's not, yeah, because I think this is supposed to be a different color anyway. So let's go to our page. So we can see all of this is Tailwind styled for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to our globals. We have the imports.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have somewhere a Tailwind config.js, which we do. And it is configured to take both JSX and TSX, and we are using TypeScript, so that's no problem. Same. Okay.
My goodness, remember how long it would take us to set up these things?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And now I'm going to say my Tailwind styles are not working.
Right. And then like take a picture and send it to it so it has the view.
Mm-hmm. This ugly page, and I gave it a really cute design. How rude. Next time, I will go ahead and do the project setup before we get on. Okay.
Love that you said next time. Bwahaha.
Just a precursor. We jinxed it. I know. I shouldn't have said it too. I shouldn't have said it.
I
but
know. I know. We had too much high hopes, you know?
I know. That's how it happens.
But yeah, I always find that Tailwind CSS is a pain to set up.
Yeah.
Like when you're not doing it the manual way, it's a lot of roundabout.
It is. And I feel like it's also hard to debug at times too, just because there's so many moving pieces to it.
Yes. 100%.
This was one of the first things that I felt like I was a real developer once I started creating like template repos for myself. This was one of the first things I did. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to set this up in a template repo and start from the same template every single time.
Every single time. That's the way to do it.
Let's see. Okay. This is the same issue that I had earlier. So
post CSS and post CSS. I'm telling you, I don't know why models have issues. It's the same problem all the time. I see it all the time.
It is, and clearly I'm not that great because I keep running into the same issue.
No, same though. Same. The same issue all the time. And you know how you're like, oh, I'm gonna save the solution somewhere, so next time. Never do.
Right. Mm-hmm. I will say AI has made me just a little lazy. Just a little lazy in that way.
No, facts. But I like what Teron says. So he says, this is real life, though. It's good for everyone to see. It doesn't always work the first time. It hardly ever does. It hardly ever works the first time. This is not like a social media highlight reel, you know?
No.
Also, tell us what you're building. What projects are you working on, if you're working on any?
Ooh.
I'd love to know.
I wouldn't say that I'm working on any super fun projects right now. I'm currently working on rebuilding my site for the 1 millionth time, of course. But I would love to have like a blog, and I've been going back and forth about like the style of blog, because in theory, I don't want it to just be a blog for like written content. I would love to be able to showcase like a highlight reel of my short form, long form, and blog content in one place. But as we know, your content living on your domain is a lot better than your content living in other places, because then you own it. You don't have to worry about platforms potentially going away for whatever reason.
Yes.
So I've been trying to figure out like a really good UX for that, so that if anybody wanted to see like, oh, what's Brie been up to on any platform, it would be easy to say, oh, she's done this video, or she went to this place and she did this thing, or she's done this video, and get like a good sense of it. And the challenge that I've been facing is, number one, like getting all of the sources in one place, but also the UX of like, how do I show some of the short form items in line with like the long form or like the blog content too, and not make it just look like a feed of like static blog content. What have we done?
No, it's just making changes. You haven't done anything.
Perfect. So that's what I'm working on now. I have also been working on something fun, which is I just started working at Atlassian recently. So I've been learning about Atlassian Forge, which is going to be one of the products that I get to work on. And I know when people think about Atlassian, they usually think about Jira, but there's actually a way to create basically like extensions for Jira. And I think a lot of people would really love to know about it. So I'm excited to learn more about it so I can create like content and show people how to do that too. And yes, those are the two big things that I've been working on other than running around the country.
Love that. I also just learned, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that Atlassian also owns Loom. You know, the video recording. I was like, whoa, look at that design.
Perfect. Okay, we have something. It's a little ugly, but it looks way better than before.
I like the font.
Okay, perfect. So we have our lavender, purple, yellow, peach. Okay, so this I think is the setup that we needed, like the base setup. Everything is configured. So I'm going to tell it that we are okay to move on to...
I think I'm going to tell you stage and commit, stage and commit.
I know. Telling me that I shouldn't just have these 98 files.
Hit keep, stage and commit. Because it's working now, and when the model goes in and makes new changes, you risk the work.
Okay, let's see.
You risk losing things.
What do you mean? Oh, did I not add them? Did I not add all the changes? Oh, I did.
A little plus, yeah. Oh, did you also know you can generate commit messages with Copilot?
Show me how.
Delete that init message you typed.
It's gone.
Just delete. Click on the sparkle button in the, and now it's going to read your, get the context in and create a message for you. I know it's just brainless. You know,
I love
RIP us, but it makes it so long.
How lovely. No, sometimes you need the full detail.
Yes, it's come in very handy for debugging, honestly.
I love this. Commit. Because that was way better than just saying init for over 100 files. Over 100.
That's what I would have done too.
Okay, how far did we get? We have done phase 1, which is our initial project setup, and we have done we're on phase 2. So I think that we have most of the items we need, and we are going to start our UI setup. So this should take care of our main page. So what we're going to have in theory is an intake form. And you know how like when you're filling out a form, I haven't been on a dating website in a second, but you have to like tell what your preferences are. And then eventually that's where you can get to the swiping. We want people to be able to choose like what kind of content they want to create or their niche, or maybe like some topics or keywords before we actually use the OpenAI API to go ahead and send it over to AI. That way they have like good preferences for the recommendations. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it, go ahead and start working on phase 2.
And while that's going, tell us about this document. What are these phases? What's happening?
Yeah. So I initially, funny story, I hate having to plan out a whole project before I start to work on it. We've talked also about the fact that planning is a form of procrastination, and I will plan myself out of anything. So I kind of don't like to have to plan everything out at one time. But I will say thinking about your features, or like thinking about your projects and what exact tasks you would need to do in order to be able to complete a certain phase or a certain feature is so helpful to be able to give like AI or whatever tool that you're working with, because it gives context to what you're doing right now, but also where you want to go and the things that you eventually want to complete. So it can almost sort of like think ahead, or maybe plan configurations or architecture around what will eventually be happening. Now, I don't plan every single thing that I want to do at one time. I usually try to do like maybe one or two core features at a time, just so that I'm not overwhelming everything. But it's basically planning out the steps that I would actually do if I was a developer. So for instance, for my setup, I would need to do the install for Next.js. I would need to do the install for Tailwind and make sure that it works. Those are two individual steps. And that basically just helps the document work through it, versus me also having to just like type in the things that I need to do inside of the chat itself. It just has it in one place. I give that as context. And then I also had another document for my instructions. It is currently empty, but typically this is filled with any like code hygiene things that I like, or maybe like code preferences. That way it can refer to those also when it is creating the code as well. So for instance, if I prefer for components to look a certain way or like have a certain structure, it will listen to that to make sure that it's using my preference.
Nice. Very organized.
I try to be. And this is the most organized you'll see this project. I promise you.
Very organized. So you were saying that, you know, you're working on a project to figure out how to essentially keep track of your projects and have them live on your personal domain, like your personal site. Yeah. So we, meaning me and the audience, we've been building a project called Advocat Hub, essentially to help developer advocates keep track of their content, because we all struggle with the thing. So the concept is to, you know, quickly just add a link, and it will parse the link and just save it as cards, and it will add it would auto add tags based on the type of content it is. So at least you have at least a landing page of all the things you've done over the years, so that when you're like, oh my goodness, I want to add this thing to this thing that belongs to me, you have a quick and easy place to just like grab the content and just pop it on. So same page.
I love that. I love that. How are you?
It is not shipped.
It doesn't have to be. I don't know. Everybody in the chat may think something different. I'm sure they think it's great and that it's amazing, but I can't wait to use it. Okay.
It is not shipped.
It stopped. What did it do? It has our submission form, our form elements. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Not bad. So we can select our niche. Whoa. That is a big list. Let's say, okay, I love that technology is first and foremost. I don't think it's actually wired up to anything yet. And actually, in fact, I think I need to skedaddle my thingy off screen for a second so I can, let me just do that. So I can add my OpenAI key.
Hide your API key, folks. I see too many leaks on the interwebs.
Yes.
You know?
It is not a good thing to do.
So Teron in tech said, what? So I believe this was in response to GitHub Copilot, like being able to generate commit messages for you. Yes, it's incredible. It's been doing it for a minute. So it's able to generate commit messages for you. And then also when you push your code to GitHub, it's able to generate that description for you to give you like an overview of everything you've done over the past of how many weeks or even months that you don't remember, right? Because who remembers what they did like 2 weeks ago? So those two features are two of my favorite features about GitHub Copilot, honestly. You know, the agent is great, the CLI tool is great, but being able to write a markdown file for me, better.
Anything that stops me from having to actually think about what I've done, because as you saw, I was just going to say, you know what? whatever those 100 files were, it is what it is. Maybe I'll figure it out
Right.
later. Maybe not.
Exactly.
Okay. Perfect. I think I added it. I know I added it actually. And I think I should be okay now.
Good to go? Oh, I can add it back to the stage? Oh,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. And everybody's friendly here. So I'm sure even if they did see it, they definitely would not take a screenshot and do anything bad.
I don't know.
So, okay. So I shouldn't be able to submit this, I don't think, just yet. But we can select long form or short form. Oh, that's cute. It bounces a little bit. I don't know if I like the bounce, but we'll get over it.
Oh,
And you can select the tone. Okay, this is a lot of different tones. So maybe
nice.
in the next version, I might not have so many, but professional, casual and playful, or casual and friendly, I can't read, humorous, inspirational, motivational. I think in theory, we would narrow this down to like maybe 5 different tones. Because data driven would also be kind of hard because it doesn't have access to data, but I see what it's going for. So let's see what the next version of our project, or not the next version, the next item is going to be.
And before we move on to the next item, what do we do?
Use Copilot to keep track of what we did.
No, not just Copilot, but we use Git. We still use Git.
Oh, yeah.
No, but imagine if like you went to phase 3 and then it's broken and then you have to like start all over, you know?
I will say I am very good at that. And it's funny because I usually in projects, and I will use my personal projects on my GitHub to back me up. I usually do a lot of saving, genuinely. But if something doesn't work, I'm really good at just saying git reset hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's there. Honestly, that's why it's there.
Let's see. Oh, I did it again. I didn't actually add the changes. Add them.
The plus button. Yeah.
There we go. So then it should be good. Okay, perfect. It's a lot of files.
I know.
So next we are gonna go through the swiping. We have an on submit and it calls the, you know what? Let's see if it actually does run. Let me open the console so I can see. Take a look at the network tab. We want to do technology. What should we do as a topic?
Oh no. What should we do as a topic?
That's always the hard part. That's why we need the app.
You know, when someone asks you a question about something that you know or something that you can answer, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, what?
Let's say something I've been studying.
Okay.
AI ethics. I don't know. And we want to do a short form video. And we want the tone to be
storytelling? Authoritative?
Storytelling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, something went wrong. Okay.
Yep.
Well, what went wrong? So we have a 404 from our, what's this issue? Okay, it didn't handle ideas, but why? Where did it go wrong?
Yeah. Tell us more. Some things it can't find something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
nice.
Let's see. Can I attempt to generate ideas? What is the button name? Okay. Also, having looked at this phasing file that I have, I would probably go back and chunk some of these up just a little bit more to have more granular control. Usually, I have a little bit more of a hand in writing them myself, but I did pass it off to my bestie Gemini. She did great, but we do have to split things up a little bit more. She's very verbose. She talks
did
a
her
lot.
best. She does talk a lot, girl. She does.
But I like that. That's also why I stopped using ChatGPT so much, is because her context window is a lot bigger, so she can yap a lot more,
Mm.
which is really handy when I use it a lot also for like my talks and doing a sanity check on the flow, because sometimes I'm like, okay, I can yap, things make sense to me, but maybe the flow doesn't necessarily make sense to everybody else. So I use it a lot for asking about like flow and pacing and things like that. And ChatGPT tends to get like hung up on things like that. And Gemini's like,
It's
yeah, no
true.
problem.
Yeah, I think ChatGPT is too general, right? It's too general of a model sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Have you played with Nano Banana?
Can you believe I have not? Can
You,
you?
out of all people, I would have definitely expected to.
I have not played with the Nano Banana or
It is
even
amazing.
Sora 2.
Okay. I'm definitely getting scammed when I'm an old lady. I really am, because there has been too many
Girl.
times where I've
Girl,
seen.
I saw this video on TikTok and I thought it was a real video. I was
Yeah.
like, ha 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 ha. And then to learn that it was an AI generated video, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. The ones that get me, I've watched too many of them, they just keep popping up, are the cats. The cats in the cars,
Mm.
and they're like running away, and they're just like speeding down the highway, and it looks so real. Or I saw a little DoorDash cat, and the thing that gets me is he patted the little DoorDash bag when the lady was like, "Are you my DoorDash driver?"
And you thought it was real?
For a second, I was like, somebody dressed their cat up like a DoorDash driver, and then I was like, okay, no, obviously this isn't real because the perspectives are changing too much. But you had me for a second.
But it's crazy though, because it does look very realistic. So like I can't even imagine what this stuff is gonna look like in 6 months.
Exactly. I think sometimes about the first pictures or like videos of Will Smith eating the spaghetti, and I'm like, I could be Will Smith eating the spaghetti now. Like if I just put his face on mine. It's so crazy.
I know, the deepfake technology is also wild.
Yeah, I saw that you did a video about it too, which was absolutely crazy.
I was like, this lady's face is on my face. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. It did something for us, and I think it created our API route. Maybe it didn't do that for us initially. But we're going to select our niche again, talk about AI ethics, because that's what I've been looking at. And we're going to go with our storytelling theme.
Things are happening.
They are. Oh, well, Is it a different error this time?
Maybe,
Okay, that wasn't very particular. Okay, 500 server error. I do believe that is.
So now that's internal, yeah.
Yeah, so there's just something wrong with our code, and yet again, but I will be a little bit more specific about what we're seeing.
Ooh, so is there a way to find out if it's AI generated or not? Like content creator or synth ID? That's a really good question, Padma. I don't know.
For like Sora and stuff?
Yeah, just like if a video is AI generated, how would you know if the creator didn't label it as AI generated?
For Sora, I know that there are the watermarks on the videos. But I'm pretty sure that there's a way to like remove them or get around them. But that's a really good question, especially as AI is getting better.
There was a thing I came across the other day, which essentially, and LinkedIn uses it. It essentially tags AI generated content as AI generated content, but I'm forgetting what it's called. Content something. But yeah, a synth ID detector, yeah, that would definitely be good, because the world we're living in, it's rapidly evolving, and you know, same. I think I would be on the scam list too. It's
I have to tell my parents about AI. It's funny because before Sora, it was a lot easier to be like, okay, these are things that you can look for when you're like looking at stuff on Facebook. Facebook is a trove of AI generated everything, even down to things like recipes.
Mm.
So I don't know. But yeah, I can only imagine what Disney or the movie studios would do with AI. I went to Google I/O earlier this year, and there was a panel about somebody who made a video, or not a video, an entire movie. And they were talking about the fact that rights for children on screen are a little bit
Oh,
strict, and you need a lot of regulation, obviously, as you should. But they basically made themselves a baby using like baby pictures that they had of themselves, and they were the baby in the
right.
video or the movie. And I thought that was mind-blowing to me, just a little bit.
Yeah. Because the person is an actual adult, they can
Yeah,
consent to the baby version
exactly.
of. Oh my goodness.
So then you don't have to worry about having a child actor necessarily on set or going around. I know there's stricter laws for having children on set and having to work around their certain hours and how long they can work.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the video that duped me the other day.
No, seriously, because sometimes you just sit there and you're watching and it's like, oh, okay, it's AI. And it just hits you in the face almost. Okay, let's see. So we have changed something, and it said that we have added some logging. So let's see. Oh, this is new. Swiping interface coming soon. Perfect. I think we got it. It did a thing.
It's working?
Yeah, it is actually. Perfect. We can see our ideas here. Now we just need to build the swiping interface.
Oh my goodness.
We love it.
Brie, do you remember the days? Like 3 years ago? 4 years ago? When it would take so long to do this.
Absolutely. And
like,
I'm sitting here
just
now
the
like
MVP.
I know. Yeah. I'd probably be here for like hours on days making sure that worked and getting everything back. So
oh my goodness. This is incredible.
Love a little AI bestie.
But I found the video. Here is the video that duped me.
Show us.
It's not the original one, but I think someone like screenshotted it. Here, I'm gonna send you the link so you can like show it. That's crazy that it's working. But yeah, I was gonna do a video on it because I was completely duped.
This was AI?
Yeah.
I didn't think this one was AI.
It's AI.
Basically, because I know the sound wasn't on. The young lady in the video is saying, like, you're my husband.
Me and my
And the guy's
me
like,
and my husband.
Okay, yeah.
That's AI, Brie.
I just thought that was a little cute moment on the subway.
Me too. And then I saw like a AI pro person did like a deep analysis on the video, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then I showed my partner, and they were like, oh yeah, that's AI, I can tell. And I'm like, how can you tell? Because I was duped. Duped.
It turns out I'm not getting scammed when I get older. I'm getting scammed right now.
Right now.
Today.
Yeah, but yeah, that I still think about that video because I was like, whoa.
I hate that for us.
Me too. So yeah, we definitely need synth IDs or like a way to recognize something. Because I think it was Ratha says, like, you know, they do leave subtle digital artifacts and footprints, but it's hard to see it. It's hard.
Yeah, are they visible to the eye, or just like they're digital like trackers inside of the files themselves?
I have no idea.
I'm using Git this time without having to be prompted to do so.
Oh.
I'm committing like I'm supposed to because I'm like,
yes, good.
Yes, it works. Do we have
If
time
it
to start
works,
number
commit.
3?
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Now we can move on to phase 3, which is the fun part because we should be working on the swiping and the swipe logic.
Wow. Is this the final? How many more phases are left?
There's 4, but is there 4 or 5? Did I lie? Oh no, there's 4.
Let's get it.
So let's do it.
Oh my God. So we've gotten so far, folks. And even we would have gotten further if we didn't have to do the setup. Remember, she had to do the setup with the model. So that took up maybe like 10 minutes. So we probably could have been at phase 5, you know?
Isn't that crazy to say? It's like, oh yeah, I just have almost this MVP all done, but I would have been so much farther if I didn't have to worry about 10 minutes of working with Tailwind, which I really should figure out why that happens every single time so I don't have to do
every
it.
single time. You should figure it out and write a blog post. Your blog post would be the most popular. It would be so popular.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I am trying to blog more. We're going to talk about that at GitHub Universe too, because blogging for the technical stuff is hard sometimes.
GitHub Universe. So wait, you're speaking at GitHub Universe.
I am.
Tell us about your session. Like what is it going to be about?
Yeah, so it is called Build Once and Teach Forever, Scaling Developer Content Creation with GitHub. I had to go look it up because it's a little bit different than what I initially submitted, which I totally don't mind, by the way. Don't mind at all. And it is all about developer content creation, going from like code to creating different versions of content, which is always like the hardest part as an advocate, is being able to like bundle content in different ways from one code sample or like from one idea, all in GitHub or the GitHub Universe.
Very cool. Very cool. I, for one, am very excited about that session because I would love to see how you do that with GitHub tools. Like,
yes.
What?
And it's going to be a workshop session, actually. So everybody who comes can come hack on it together.
I love that.
Yeah. It's more so about building systems to help you get out of your own head again and to be able to move quicker. It's funny because like when I work on personal content, I have a lot more time to sit in my brain. But for work content, it's just like, okay, this is the idea or this is the topic. This is the idea. Right? You got to execute on it. Right. And I don't give myself that amount of time to think about all of the other variables or all of the other different factors. So
I think it's because, for work, we eat, it allows us to eat. So because of that pressure or because of that, oh my goodness, what am I trying to say? Because of that deadline or, people are depending on us. It's just like, yeah, this is the idea. I'm going to do it. It's done. Yeah. And it's excellent, right? But then you're sitting with yourself for your stuff and it's just like, well, is it actually good? Well, what about this way? Well, maybe if I get this thing. And it's just like, because you're not obligated. You're not obligated to anyone. So
exactly.
Which is sad.
I'm like, okay, do it, get it out. But when it's me, I'm like, well, dang. And then once you know like what you can do, and once you get better at like editing or like filming or scripting or like whatever it is, once you get so much better at that, then you always want to do that level of work. And it's hard to go down from that, even if it is less time or it takes you less time to do.
Yeah. Okay, so Padma had a question. How difficult is it for someone with zero developer experience to follow this and create new apps/products? What do you think?
To follow this?
Oh, what you're doing right now.
Oh, okay. So I feel like with no coding experience, it might be the challenging parts will be debugging and figuring out what's wrong and where it's wrong. But the part itself of following like what features are being done and being created, those are all in natural language for the most part. Now I said that and then a post request came up here, but there will be some things that maybe like technically that are like, oh, I have to go look up what a post request is. And then you might get into APIs and things like that. But I think more so other than building from scratch with a tool like GitHub Copilot versus using an app builder like Lovable or V0 or whatever it is, you have to worry a little bit more about the architecture, how it's being built, things like making sure that I didn't expose my OpenAPI key, or that it's not hard coded somewhere where I'm going to upload it to GitHub by accident and then people can actually see that key itself. Those little nuances are sort of things that you would know as a developer, but things that wouldn't be so obvious to you if you have not coded before.
Yeah, I agree. I think it can be done, but it may be difficult. So like I like to think about AI tools having different tiers. So the first tier would be, you know, the Lovables, the GitHub Spark, the etc. Like those tools for like very, very beginner, know nothing about coding. I just want to build an idea really quickly. And then the second tier would be like those intermediary tools. So maybe like Replit, since Replit is still in the browser, maybe I'm not remembering another one. But then the more advanced tool would be tools like GitHub Copilot, GitHub Copilot CLI, Claude Code, etc., etc. So you can't do it, but you have to choose the proper tool for your level of experience. Are we swiping right now?
We're swiping. And it's keeping track of our swiping.
Crazy.
I love that. And I guess like buttons for, of course, accessibility purposes, but like, so it uses the framer for this.
The animation, yeah. Animation.
Yeah, I've been using like GSAP, but I think this is using framer, which is still fine. But, I haven't even been reading the cards. I'm just enamored by the fact that I can swipe.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. That's
nice.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Then it's going to display our results. So the last part of this is coming up with an entire list of more niche content ideas that come from those base ideas that we had.
Yeah, let's get it.
If that makes sense. Perfect.
What is it going to take? Like 5 minutes, you know?
You know what? I haven't had a sprint in a while, but let's say this is 1 point.
Yeah, I know. I would say it's more like a 5-pointer, honestly. I don't remember what those means.
I was always so bad at it too, like astronomically bad. And it's because sometimes I didn't really ask a lot of questions or enough questions. And I was like, yeah, I can be done. I used to be so afraid to ask questions.
Yeah. Asking questions, folks, is the ultimate way to grow as an engineer, as a developer. You gotta ask questions. And if you're scared to look stupid, just do this and say, cover your face and ask the questions.
Because feeling stupid lasts 5 seconds, but not knowing what you're going to do the entire sprint, that lasts a lot longer.
Yes, it's true. And then the sprint is finished and you're like, oh no, I was having issues. And now you really look, you know, not good. Now you really look good.
How sometimes I think back to like what I would have done if I had access to these tools when I was younger.
What did you forget to do?
Okay.
You know,
can I stop it? Did it do anything yet?
It
didn't do anything yet. It's fine.
It's very important to save your work as you go. If it works, stay and commit. Okay.
No, I know. Do as I say, folks, not as I do. Do as I say, not as I do.
Let's turn on this fan.
Is it warm?
Well, you know, I think because my light, I was getting a little warm.
Yeah, they do emit a lot of heat.
Yes. Debugging requires skills, which you can always learn and develop, update always. Yes, exactly. Have you done any execution and debugging yet? Yeah, we're swiping. We've debugged a lot of Tailwind issues. We debugged the API issues that we had.
Absolutely.
But it's crazy. I think so. I was talking for about 12 minutes or so, 15 minutes. So I think it's been about like 45 or 50 minutes.
Yeah.
At most. That is wild.
Which is pretty good for an MVP of just like, hey, does this concept even work?
Exactly. Because now you can ship it and, you know, say, hey, I built this tool. Do you want to try it? And would you pay for it?
And that's the most important part, is just getting something out there for people to see and interact with versus trying to do every single thing, have every single feature in phase 1.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, the one. English is really cool, but I don't understand almost anything, only through translation. Oh, you can translate to Spanish on LinkedIn?
I don't
That's
know.
pretty cool if you can.
That is very cool. I want to learn Spanish. I just went to Spain like last weekend, or I was there for more than a weekend, but
I saw.
I was like, I'm going to do Duolingo before I get there so that I can have better conversations. And I'm positive that I said almost everything wrong, even though I was trying. And the reason that I know I did, I asked for a decaf latte
Mm.
because I don't do caffeine, and I am positive my latte was not decaf. I was up until like 3 or 4 in the morning. It's okay.
Hilarious.
I was just happy to be there. It was so beautiful.
I saw your videos. I was like, wow, 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 wow.
That's my personality now that I went to Spain.
I love it. And you did. And it was incredible.
It was gorgeous.
You know? How can we permanently, be there? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I would definitely have to brush up on my Spanish a lot more before doing that.
That's true.
But it was just, I went to Alicante and the vibe over there was just so vastly different. It's a lot slower, and even like little things that I do that I didn't think about, like eating while I'm walking, is just, why would you eat while you walk? Because you can just sit down and enjoy what you're eating and have conversation versus
rushing.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? You're right. Let me go sit down and just people watch while I eat. And that was so much better. And it was just so much
fun. To be present, to calm your nervous system,
Yes. And the sound of the water, I am used to being like by the water. Oh, look at that. Phase 4 completion. I'm used to being by the water, and just hearing like the sound of the waves outside of my hotel room was so nice. It was good for my nervous system.
I love that.
Okay. I said it's done.
Ready to test
all our changes. See if it's actually done. Okay, we're gonna do technology again. And
do you see how important planning is when you're building your app? Like, Bree did this whole plan, this whole 5-phase plan, and it's a key part of the reason why she's able to iterate so quickly when building with Copilot, regardless of the models she's building with.
Exactly. So let's see. Ultimate guide to AI. Sure, we'll keep it. No. Yes. No. I don't know. Some of these sound a little bit of the same. Maybe we need to tweak our AI prompt, but this is just the first phase to prove that we can do it. Now it's expanding. So it's going to take all of those, which are from the cards that we had, and then give us a couple of ideas or more niche ideas. It works!
Wow.
Every single one.
No way.
Very cool.
Subtopics.
So for all of those big ideas, we have subtopics that we could do. Now, the reason that I did this is because I struggle with content with doing something new every single day. So something that I played around with is taking one content idea and like spreading that out across the whole week. So if you wanted to do something similar, you could do the Ultimate Guide to AI Ethics and Technology. And then this is your whole Monday through Friday content routine.
So like it's like every week it's a new topic, and it's a topic of the week that guides the content.
Exactly.
Love that.
And then you don't have to redo or like rethink the whole wheel every single day. And I feel like you could even, because you would want to make these more niche and more narrow to like you and your brand and your strategy, you could definitely like narrow these down even more, or like tailor them to your brand or do a trend or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is a great idea. Ship it. Talk to us about the design. How did you come up with the initial design of the application, and how did you describe it to AI so it implemented it?
Yeah, so my initial design, the look and feel is not exactly what I was going for, but it had more of a better feel for this versus just Tailwind. I actually went on Pinterest and I looked at a mood board for a website that I liked. And what I think I typed in is like rainbow and cute website. And it popped up with like a website on Creative Market. And then I used Gemini and put that picture in and said, hey, can you please describe to me what this mood is in terms of like brand identity and what this would look like on a website, and help me put that into my prompt for, I think it was phase 1.5, which was doing all of the UI elements. And then that's what it did. So it picked out like the whimsical fonts and another font to go along with it in Google Fonts. It picked out the colors that I wanted from the pictures that I had. And it recognized that a lot of the borders were rounded, so like not square and pill shaped. And it also did a pretty good job with like the SVG, even though I said it doesn't do an amazing job with SVGs. But this one was okay. We do need it to be a little bit longer, but it did okay with the shadows, which are basically already utilities that Tailwind has as well. But at least it's consistent. Even if I wanted to go back and update this, which I do, or make it a little bit more consistent or change the fonts, the base of the thing is already done. Now I can do what I like, which is the styling, because all of the hard work AI did for me.
That's crazy. That's wild. We have swiping, we have ideas, we have a full week of content. We actually have months of content here, which is crazy. That's like, this is a full month here, because like four cards would be a month, right?
Yeah,
because there's 4 weeks in a month. Very cool. Very cool idea. Oh, Brie, please do ship this. It is very stylish and a great idea. You see? But who's gonna pay for the tokens, Padma or Morgana? Who's gonna pay for the tokens?
That's the hard part.
Unless, like, would you make it open source and then we can add our own API keys?
Bring your own model. Absolutely. Do it locally.
But great idea. Look at that. We went from A to Z. I hate that phrase, but we went from start to finish building a full application with GitHub Copilot in a few minutes with our friend here, Brie Hall, who will be at GitHub Universe. So if you want to come to GitHub Universe IRL, but you cannot, I'm so sorry, but there are virtual tickets, and virtual tickets are 100% free. So make sure you sign up for that. And if you're coming in person, come say hi to me, come say hi to Brie, and come listen to her talk about making the content creation process a lot easier with GitHub Copilot. Anything you want to say to the folks before we log off?
Thank you so much for joining us today and for sticking with me through the debugging. But I will say, I saw somebody in the chat say earlier, that's like real developer life, and that's what it actually looks like. So I'm happy that you guys got to see it, and I'm happy that we actually got to get towards the end. Like,
I know.
I like that. So now that the hard part is done, this has been on my list of things that I've wanted to code for a long time. And now I have literally no reason to not just ship it, except for the styling. But I'm not going to make that a barrier. The thing is done.
We're going to be watching, Brie, to see if it's shipped. Though I can't talk. I can't talk because everything lives in my brain and in my IDE. But go follow Brie everywhere. She's on LinkedIn. She's on Insta. She's on TikTok. She's on TikTok. And she posts the most useful content about so many things. So definitely go see. They would absolutely use it. I would definitely use it. You ladies are superb. Great. So folks are definitely interested in your application. So please ship it. Please ship it. Padma, please don't post that in the comments, please. Appreciate the presentation. Thanks for taught me off sharing the information. Until next time, folks, this has been Rubberduck Thursdays, and we will see you next week. Bye.